Hello, everyone, and welcome back to TVO Totally Broken Opinions. Today's Totally Broken Opinions are The Creator. What did we think? It was pretty okay.
Yeah, it was fine. Don't think it lives up to the hype.
I don't know if there was. I don't know.
Okay,
I
the
didn't-
reviews. A lot of the reviews are quite positive of it. Like
I mean,
Avatar.
it's sitting 69% or whatever. So,
I'm in on IMDb, but
I still think it's pretty mid on other sites. I
that's
don't think they're like.
I mean, last time I last checked it might have gone down by then.
It's 7.2.
Oh, 7.2 now. Okay, when I last checked it was 8.3.
Yeah. So, I mean, but whenever you check a film early, it's always going to be either high or low because they have a small pool. It's why I hate when like a movie comes out and it's like 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with 10 reviews. Wow. 10 people went, it's either a 6 or above. That makes it 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Look, I like this movie. I think my main issue with it was the plot's pretty predictable.
Yes, I had the exact same opinion.
But I thought visually nice, it looks cool on a budget of 80 million, which is unheard of in Hollywood.
Actually impressive.
Yeah. I'll get into how they did that because it's quite cool how they did it. But yeah, like unheard of in Hollywood at the moment where
I was gonna say a lot of CGI in this probably looks better than most Marvel films.
yeah, current day Marvel films, old Marvel films, yeah.
Yeah, either way.
Iron Man suit in the first Iron Man still holds up.
Well, didn't he use more practical effects in the first few films?
Yeah.
That's why.
But this also uses practical. A lot of this is practical.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It looks good.
Like because basically, let's get into the production of it. Because basically, they basically filmed in 80 different locations with a small team of like. This is how they made it basically cheap. Rather than build sets or rely exclusively on digital methods such as green screens or stagecraft, the production found it was more cost-effective to pay to send a small crew to film in 80 locations around the world, which it came close to matching the desired sci-fi look. Then, only once the film had finalized the edit, so basically once it was all stitched with the film basically in order, they basically put the visuals on top.
Right.
Rather than what Marvel does currently, which is film it, then go, we don't like that, and then change how the scene's meant to go out. And then force the entire CGI. Like, they basically finalize the film before putting the CGI on top.
Yeah.
Which makes it look better, because you have it set in place, and you can't change anything unless you want to go out and film more. And that's how they cut the cost down.
Right.
So, typically, something like this would cost about $30 million for a new sci-fi thing. And this cost basically only 80 million in terms. So it doesn't have to bring in big numbers and big box office, which like other ones do. So like the Marvels probably costs about 200 million to make.
Yeah.
And like has to bring in over 400 million to even break even. Because like the rule in Hollywood is your budget of your film, you then take that and double it for the market. The marketing is then that again.
Yeah.
And so it basically becomes the original budget times 2.
Yes.
And so this basically would maybe need to make 160 million, which isn't massive.
I think it's doable, but I don't think it's doing that well, is it?
It's all right. I think it lost to Paw Patrol and I think Saw, maybe.
Yeah, but I can kind of understand why both of those would do better.
But like this one, it's not a financial risk to Disney, who owns this.
Is any film really a financial risk to Disney?
Yeah, a lot of them have been losing Disney money. Like all the TV shows are losing Disney money. Why do you think they're putting ads back into Disney and all of these other services? Because streaming isn't profitable.
Yeah, I think so far it's done 33 million worldwide.
Yeah, but it's also hard to like. I understand why this film hasn't been like massive, because it's also people like, it looks kind of slow.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a deep philosophy, like it's a small like and also I haven't seen that much marketing for it. I think the most stuff is like because also it's in a time where Hollywood couldn't have actors promote it because that's still going on.
The mad thing is like this year for films, there's only 2 films that gone over $1 billion.
Yeah,
where compared to like
Super Mario and Barbie.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer's close, I think.
Oppenheimer's close.
Oppenheimer's like 900 million.
Last year there was 3 million. There was 3 films. One of that went over 2 million budget.
Yeah.
In 2021, also had only one as well, to be fair, which is Spider-Man: No Way Home. But it's interesting to see how the world changed.
Yeah. Well, it's partially because I think people are tired. The world of like direct to home video has basically made everyone not super interested. Cinema chains are shutting down, so people can't go as easily.
Well, compare it to 2019. There was 9 films that went over £1 billion, sorry.
Yeah. COVID basically stripped it, and then everyone went to streaming. Everyone got used to the idea of streaming stuff at home, not being like, I don't care. I have my... But everyone's got big TVs now, roughly. Like, your average person, like, the cinema experience sucks if you go to somewhere where it's shit. Like, people talking, don't care. Like, you'd much rather be in your house watching it and being on your phone.
I mean, that's it. Like, it's not even that, but most films nowadays, they don't even break 300 million. Even 200 million. Like, what? Only 19 films this year have made 200 million?
Yeah, because, like, everyone's...
It's like nothing.
Like, one, the quality's gone down. There are some good ones that don't get the thing. Like, I think Mission Impossible, really good. Didn't make that much money because it came out just before Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah, to be fair, the timing with that was pretty poor.
Yeah, I don't know why they... I don't know. I think... Because also, they lost out to IMAX for Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Because I think Tom Cruise was like, they got a week, and then Oppenheimer basically came in and took all the IMAX, and Tom Cruise was very unhappy about that. And I like that film. Don't get me wrong. I really like both those films. I also enjoyed Barbie. Like, there's been some good films this year, but they haven't made that much money. But then there's also been some fucking god-awful films this year.
Well, it's interesting. I like looking at the Marvel films specifically because that typically was the most popular ones.
Ant-Man
and this year, they're just not hitting at all.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy did okay, but for the third one, you would have expected more.
That is it. That's the thing. That film...
That should have been $1 billion.
Easily should have been $1 billion. But it's because of Disney+. People know.
Yeah, Disney...
In, 12 weeks, it's been Disney+. It's him, the creator. 12 weeks been Disney+.
Oh, less than that, I imagine.
Yeah, even less than that. So it's, all these big franchises now, people are now realizing, it's too expensive to go cinema. It'll be on the streaming service in a few months. We'll just wait.
The cinema is too expensive, too much of a hassle to go to. If you've got, if your cinema chain's shit.
Yeah.
Like, if the audience who's going there shit, like, there's so many factors now. People, like, also can just have it at home on their nice TV with their nice surround sound system. Don't have to deal with any other fucking cunts trying to talk on their phone or just not pay attention.
And everything is, you can just pause it as well. Like, when you go to the toilet, just pause it. I know you hold your bladder, but a lot of people can. And actually, I haven't had a porn for a while, but just occasionally you'll be in a good film and I really piss.
My only problem with watching at home is I do tend to look at my phone if the film hasn't...
And... backing up on that point, I would have not sat through watching this film if I was at home. Okay. I would definitely have got bored watching The Creator, and I would have gone on my phone.
So I think it can sometimes help not being on your phone when watching a movie.
I agree.
But I also understand that the movie has to catch your interest well enough, and I think this movie did. But for other films like The Flash and like all of the other garbage that I've watched this year, I would have been on my phone.
The Flash is amazingly shit.
The Flash basically they were like, we got rid of a Batgirl because it would lose us money, so we basically tried to get some money back on that. And then the Flash potentially lost Warner Brothers money.
Well, surely it would have, right?
Potentially.
Well, it makes 270.
Hollywood accounting is always dodgy, so you can always kind of turn a profit on failed movies, even if it did. But it is, in theory, technically a massive loss for Warner Brothers. So is Shazam 2.
And Indiana Jones as well.
That's Disney.
But still a massive loss.
Oh, yeah. I watched that. That was... Never watched any of the other Indiana Jones movies. I went to see it because I needed to kill some time before a comedy screening. And I lost my jumper in that screening, so sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about the actual film rather than Hollywood.
Okay, I'll go for it. Yeah, the plot.
Did you like the performances?
I think the acting was good.
Yeah.
I don't think wrong.
John
I think the child did a good job as well. I
didn't love the child.
I don't know. Kind of AI looked very robotic, and then I don't know. I felt like they were very robot.
I feel like my issue with it was that one is the plot being pretty standard, like sci-fi.
The plot is Avatar.
I guess
it is the same thing.
I think that's just generic sci-fi.
Not really.
I think Avatar is generic sci-fi.
So what?
It's just
starting
fancy
a war with a different species because they believe they're going to eradicate them.
Yeah. That's every Star Trek movie. That's Star Wars.
That's not different species though.
Yeah,
That's
but
just-
you
that's
could
just
just
about
change.
perfect
Like
dictatorship.
that's just basic like sci-fi. Is there's some big evil out in the universe that's coming to destroy the other? Like you don't need to have a horrible.
I'm not
mutant-
saying it needs to be that different. I'm just saying that it is very similar.
I don't know.
Because yes, if it boiled it down,
I didn't
only,
get Avatar vibes when I was watching it, and I don't like Avatar. So
See,
if
I
I didn't
did.
like it,
I felt like I was watching Avatar while I was watching it.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree. I've heard other people say it, but I don't know if I necessarily agree. I can't pinpoint why I don't think that's right, but look, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't see the Avatar connection. Maybe if we get more deep into the like like the actual plot, we might pinpoint the Avatarness. Yeah, give me an example. Give me an example of where it felt Avatar-y.
Well, off the top of my head, I would have to say him invading or going at the start when he was like part of their society or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, as like a secret thing, and then change his sides at the end.
I don't know. I guess you could say that, but that's every like infiltration thing. You fall in love with the like. I think the only reason you think it's Avatar is because Avatar is very fucking generic. That is generally my thing. I mean, because of Avatar's genericness, when you have something that's also similarly generic.
I'm not saying Avatar's good, by the way. I'm saying that's a
Oh no. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying the reason why I think you compare it to Avatar is because Avatar is generic, and this has a very generic plot. Like I think it's acted well. I think it's acted better than Avatar by a long shot. But I think the best element of this is the visuals.
yes.
I think
would
the
agree.
visuals carry this movie.
Definitely.
I think the villains are okay, fine, whatever. I think the ideas of the world are cool. I like that
Yeah.
weird dead corpse thing where you can get like 20 seconds if the brain's been melted for a long time.
That's cool. That
Like
that's
you get like the last ram of like you just bring the person back from the dead in another person, and then it's just like, okay, basically we need you to tell us what happened, and because your brain has been dead for so long, you only get like 20 seconds. And then like I was yeah, it was interesting. I like some of the stuff. Trying to think. I like the little robots that get blown up by the dog.
Yeah, that was quite cool. And there was
I like that design of those robots. Sorry, I
That's
interrupted.
like what you said. A lot of this is the creative design, ironically called the creator, is what gives this movie what it is.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the plot is generic. We've talked about that. There's nothing to say about it. Everything's been said about that kind of plot. It's been said before.
Yeah, it's
on other
basic
films.
generic AI. Like, guy doesn't like AI, doesn't think they're human, and then over time sees the humanity in it because that's what humans basically do. They see humanity in anything. You can look at a rock with googly eyes on it and go, "That's human."
True, yeah.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. You go, yeah, AI, because that's what humans tend to do. We do put humanity into things that don't have humanity. Like
Yes.
it's like the subreddits where like trees have faces.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like it's just how humans act. But yeah, it's. I immediately saw the fact that his kid was gonna be the kid,
Yeah,
technically,
Me too.
because it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, full spoilers for the thing.
Yeah.
You've heard the plot a million times, so it's fine. But look,
same.
I don't bash the film. I think the film is perfectly fine. I don't
That's
think
it.
it's amazing. I don't think it's horrible. I don't think it's a train wreck. I think it sits pretty much at like a 7 or a 6.5.
As
Like,
a film overall,
above
yes.
average.
But as a film, is it a film I'd watch again? No, I would not watch it again.
No, I'm not gonna watch it again. I might watch it if I'm like a long down time the road and I want to see the cool visuals of like those cool little robot guys running around. But I'll probably watch it with my phone on, have it in the background, chip into when the cool stuff happens, and then when all the philosophical stuff kicks in, I'm gonna zone out because I'm like, I don't need to be dealing with these.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do love that design of the. I don't know how I feel about it, but I do like it. That design with the hole in the back of the head for the robots.
I feel like I've seen it before though. I don't know where on, but I feel like I have seen it.
I'm sure it's not that new, but it does. It's cool how they do it.
Yeah. Once again, it's a cool effect
I don't know what
to
the
have for 80
practicality
million.
of. What was that?
So it's a cool effect to have for 80 million budget.
Yeah. Because the main thing that Hollywood studios like you can make really good visual effects if you put the time. Like college students can do this sort of stuff. Like on low budgets, you just put a lot of hours into it.
Yeah.
Basically with Hollywood, it's a time versus monetary value. like
so was this
the
film made quite quick then?
No, it was basically from 2022. It's basically the standard runtime. It's just that they didn't have as much people. Like
Right.
they had a small crew of like 4 people, and Gareth Edwards, the director, was doing a lot of the visual recording of the cameras and stuff like that. They didn't have. I think they used a Sony camera that was like a grand rather than the big Hollywood studio cameras and all of that with massive. Like it was handheld like tracking. They didn't use a lot
They
of.
could just do that for most films nowadays. Like, you don't need to have all these big blockbusters with loads of budgets.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think the reason why Hollywood does it is because of they care so much about secrecy now. So like you have all of like also with big budgets you have like hundreds and hundreds of people trying to cater to like all the different shots that they need, and if you do it all on location, you have to send everyone. I don't know. I feel like they should go back to the do it in real life and only use the visuals on top approach. But then you also have the want to push technology forward. Like the volume in The Mandalorian season 1, pretty fucking good. Once the guy who made the tech left, kind of went downhill a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I know
Because no one else.
season 3.
Oh, don't. It's not that great.
Yeah, that's
I haven't
why-
watched Ahsoka yet because I'm like, I don't care about this person from this cartoon that now shows up in live action. And that's all I've heard about that show. Is episode to episode, it's, hey, look, it's this person from Star Wars from that cartoon. And you're like, oh, cool. That's not interesting. But yeah, I feel like it's been weird to see because the director's basically be coming out and going, look, no one wants to ban AI, which no one does. Like, AI is pretty useful as a tool to, like, everyone wants to use it. They just want restraints on it so that no one can just rip out all of a person's work and basically get it for free.
When you talk about AI, you need to talk about it in the same conversation as when the internet was first made.
Yeah, like...
It's the same thing. It's no different. It's just the next stage.
Yeah, like, I think one of his interviews he did, it was pretty good. But I would just say, like, yeah, there's going to be the bad side of the internet, the dark web and all of that bullshit.
Yeah.
And there's going to be the good side. Social, well, I wouldn't say social media. I was going to say communication was going to be the good bit.
The useful size.
Yeah.
That's what you should say.
Porn.
Yes.
Both the dark side and the light side. Oh my god, this film is Star Wars.
No, what?
The light side and the dark side.
Oh, yeah. Funny enough, a lot of people saying about this film is like Star Wars as well.
Well, yeah, it's sci-fi. Everyone has no branch of, like, what sci-fi is, because everyone's media illiterate. Like, I'm media illiterate. I don't know most stuff about media, but I know a little bit more.
Yeah. I don't know, though. It's just the characters and the characters' motives that kind of gave me Star Wars vibes. It felt very similar. Well, that's the plot. That's
See, I'd
not
say
really
more
else.
Alien.
I'm not saying Alien.
Neither have I, but I'd say more Alien because it's just generic military army, and that's Alien. Because I'm pretty, like, it's the American army, and that's the villains, right?
Yeah.
And that's just basic, like, they're just pro-America. The irony is lost on them that the AI doesn't want to fight them.
Yeah.
But they're just so hell-bent on eradicating the threat that they don't care what bloodshed they cause between. Like,
Yeah.
they nuke a lot of fucking places.
They do.
I did like the reveal that the nuke wasn't AI attacking, it was a coded error. A human
I saw
error.
it coming.
Oh yeah, I knew it was coming, but I do like it.
Yes, yeah, of course. I mean, it would
Because I was always questioning, they're probably gonna have it like humanitize the robots, but I was kind of hoping they didn't do it. But I also kind of like, yeah, it makes sense that this was a human error.
Yeah, it was either that or the AI did it for a reason, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why the AI would do it.
Oh, I
You
don't
gotta
know,
have a
like,
pretty
maybe-
justified. They
they-
found the next Hitler.
Yeah, maybe it's or maybe it was the same as not the Walking Dead, or just like a zombie apocalypse or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
What's Last of Us? That's the one. The Cordyceps. Because remember in Cordyceps they said that just nuke the place.
Yeah, I guess. I hate that show though.
Why do you hate it so much?
It's such a bad, like, I don't, like, I get why people like it, but it's not as good as the game. The
It's
game
not
is
meant to
better.
be.
I know, they do different things, and I think the changes that they made were shitter. Like, I don't like it. It's not great. But yeah, I think overall, this was, it's hard to talk about, because it's pretty like, I feel like if it had, like, a more fast-paced plot, It's
Yeah, it was
it
quite
seems
slow
to-
in places. It just kind of really took its time.
Yeah, it felt like, again, not shitting on the film, because I don't want to shit on this film, because I don't think it's terrible, and I think if this film did well and did like a lot of like money, maybe Hollywood would change and do more stuff like this, because this is like an independent, like, it's got generic plot, but like it's hard to sell Hollywood on anything that isn't generic.
Yeah, that's true. But unfortunately, the story is everything.
This is sold on the visuals rather than the
but
story.
Having good visuals doesn't give you a good proper
No.
film.
No, but also having shit visuals and no story makes it worse. And I
True.
think the story is okay enough that it passes above average, like a 6.5. Or
Yeah, I can see. It's probably above average, but it's only just though.
like, it's not amazing. It doesn't change Hollywood's visuals with like Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
But-
don't to watch that.
It's good, man. But I think for the budget that this is, it's impressive as hell. And I reckon
yeah.
maybe its fault is that it couldn't go back and change things because they had everything locked in and such a strict production on it. Because you would end up with maybe like, okay, we need a bit more fast pace stuff here. We need like, why is this guy's motivation here? Put it a bit clearer, put some stuff. But because they had it locked and they couldn't film any more, and to keep the cost low and all of that, it suffers from that. We can't change anything.
Yeah, I see that.
So I don't know, maybe give it another 20 million just to do some changes, and you're still 100 million, which is pretty cheap for Hollywood.
What plot points would you change to make the film better?
I don't think I would have the kid be his kid.
Right.
I think it would be more impactful if he learnt to like humanize with something that wasn't technically his.
Yeah.
Because
I can see that.
you feel like, because even though he doesn't know, he knows.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you know he knows and you know it knows. But if you had the reveal that it wasn't his kid died in that explosion, and it was just a actual no embryo, no, like, it was just artificially intelligent that just grew humanity in it, and that there was no human
Yeah.
element to it.
Because
I think it
that's
would be
'cause, like,
better.
they keep saying now they programmed humanity into the AI,
Yeah.
whereas it should have been the AI just learn to.
Learn to understand
humans.
like, got to a point where it could literally understand and could do that. I think also I wouldn't change, I don't know if I would change it, but I did like the mum's death. I would get rid of the bit where they kiss at the end.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
that-
I don't know.
I know
I
that-
kind of like that. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just kind of tacked on. I think you would
give it a bit of a happy ending.
No, I don't
He
want
just
the happy
died.
end.
It's a bit miserable.
No, because I think the reason why they did that was because his entire thread throughout the entire movie was, I want to see my wife one more time,
Yeah.
and then I can die.
Yeah.
So he gets that,
Yeah.
even if it is a robot and blah 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 blah. But I think what you're better off doing is having that plot line of the wife AI bot, like AI replica thing earlier on. Because it comes about midway through the film, and it's kind of just like a
Yes.
passing glance. And they have that one guy, the one cop guy who's hunting them down, who has the same face multiple times throughout the film. That's your main interaction with it. But then it's just like, oh, on the spaceship, the wife's there for some reason.
Yeah, I don't get that. Why is wife there? And that's never explained.
Why is there just a storage room full of AI robots
Yeah, that's
when
never
they hate
explained.
AI? that was like, that's just so that they could have that moment.
Only thing I could think, I don't know. I kind of do like her being dead, but maybe they should have had her be an AI straight away, and
From
then
the
had the
beginning.
AI version of herself.
Have the father of AI create the AI that then creates the next future AI.
Yes, have AI create AI basically.
Yeah, but then you lose the bit of the baby thing, because unless you have the AI be able to reproduce human,
Well, no, but you can have it so she started off working on it, but then she finished working on it when she became an AI robot.
maybe, I don't know.
Or maybe because she lost her child before she became an AI, or before the AI developed. The AI developed emotions for that baby being lost and wanted to make a child themselves.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like some of that maybe.
I feel like this is where Hollywood's writers need to come in now that they're being paid better.
Yeah. I'm not a writer by any means.
No. We're just creative idea people. We don't know how to structure everything.
I think the script in this is alright. I don't think there's any moments about questions. Oh, that's a bit of a weird thing to
Like
say.
I don't cringe at any of the lines of dialogue about
Yeah.
AI, and like I feel like
What
it was
recently
solidly
where I had like just terrible talking. I know
Flash.
Transformers.
Has it.
Transformers. Rise of the
Transformers.
Beast.
Yeah, I've heard that has shit.
That was
Dialogue where it's
terrible
cringy.
dialogue.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Why would you watch that over every other film that you could have watched?
Because I went to see it with my dad. My dad really liked Transformers, so I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Because I said, oh, okay, we'll watch film together. What do you want to watch? He said he wants to watch Transformers.
Fair enough. That's an odd choice, but whatever.
It's just to do childhood because he used to watch Transformers when in
Yeah,
the
but Michael
80s.
Bay raped your dad's childhood with the new... But I guess this one wasn't directed by Michael Bay, but it still has the Michael Bayness. Although apparently it has a lot less Michael Bayness, because Michael Bay...
Yeah, it's less.
It's a lot less action-y?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I was just having a quick look through my movie list. Indiana Jones had some pretty shit dialogue. Because it's just like... I wouldn't say... I don't know. It was just weird, because they de-age Harrison Ford in it. And you have an old man saying lines as a young man. And it's just Harrison Ford's old voice, so it just feels disjointed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like, yeah, so if I were to change I don't know. If I were to change some things, I would make the villains less, I don't know, make them more nuanced. Like, have them, because they just seemed like generic evil. I guess they tried to do the humanization with she lost her sons because they were in the war at the very beginning when they first introduced, but then they never interact after that again. And it's like, okay.
The trouble is, the whole motive is, that we want to kill them before they eradicate us. And I think that's a bit of a shit plot point, to have a war AI. And then just to have that one nuke and to blame it on them. It's like scapegoating.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot better if it wasn't that. I think to have that as a plot point at all was a terrible thing. And what it should have been was maybe AI trying to save humans for something. And it went wrong because their humanity in the AI. Because humans make mistakes.
I think it would have been more interesting than, rather than a code error for the nuke, it was a government cover-up to eradicate the AI and use it as an excuse to eradicate the AI.
But you still got
because they were
reason for them to get rid of AI.
True, but they feel what they created, basically. That thing. I know it's a
but
weak one.
The thing is, that trait has been done. I got X-Men vibes.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
I think it would have been a lot better just to have...
Maybe have the AI actually nuke them, but
That's
have
what I
it...
mean. Like, have the AI actually
Yeah,
make
but
the
have it
mistake
as like
themselves.
yeah.
The AI
Maybe
made
have-
the mistake, not the humans.
Oh no, have it so that there was a situation that doesn't require a nuke, but somewhere in code, like, I don't know, missile launch just to knock down like a missile or something. And then have it that there's an AI, like a human errored code that the AI isn't powerful enough to avert or correct or whatever. And then during the process of them trying to launch a different missile to intercept another one, they accidentally end up sending the nuke. Something like that. Something where it's an error on humans and AI, where rather than it's just, it's a human error.
A coding error. I don't like the idea of being a nuke. I think...
Oh yeah, no, even if it's just a missile or something like
It doesn't need to be like that. It could have been just like anything other than that.
Do the car thing from the Will Smith one.
Yeah, it could have just
Whereas
been...
like an AI saves him over a child because it's like more likely chance of survival.
Or imagine if it was like a bunch of other AIs start just attacking humans or something, and then people are like, and then because of this one group of people, they decided to attack everyone. Bit of like terrorism nowadays, we have like ISIS and stuff, where you have that kind of minority of people who become terrorists, and then this radicalization of everything, and then everyone just assumes they're all bad, wrongfully so, and that could have been more impactful that way, to say, no, we're just AI, we just want to live, please stop fighting us. We don't follow these views, because that would also be a bit more...
Or, if you want to do the whole AI a human aspect of it, have the bad AI, and then, but they learnt it from humanity.
Oh yeah, something like that. But I think just having a nuke is just such a cop-out.
I guess.
It's just such a cop-out to start a war.
I think
There's so many better ways of doing it.
But yeah, I think if you did AI is observing the world, and then they see humanity's violence, they see humanity's flaws, but they also see humanity's good side, and then you get the divide of AIs and humans working against each other. So you have the good, like, because it's the Middle East, like it's the West as well. So it's like,
Yeah, and they West have their own AIs or whatever. So like,
well, because
just
the
like-
Americans ban AI
yeah,
and all like future development and everything, but the rest of the world goes, no, this is fine. So it is literally just America on the side. I don't know about every other country, but it's always just the
well, it's the Western
poor.
world, so it's NATO.
Yeah, it's the-
It'd be
well,
up in
yeah,
England
the-
and Europe as well, because it was just only Asia that just allowed it.
Yeah. And so that's the race thing. It's like, yeah, those foreigners working with those horrible AI. No, they're fine. But it's
Yeah,
the
I think-
blindsidedness of the American ideal of what
Yeah.
is and isn't.
It was just a bit too generic, and I think they could have. It would have been
They
very
c-
easy.
It feels like surface level
Details.
AI like topic. Like if you
Yeah.
peeled back maybe 2 or 3 layers, you would have gone to something a bit deeper. But I feel like they tried to get general audiences in, but the people who are going to see this have heard this 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think they have gone to the wrong audience here, because generic audience don't care. about these shows anymore.
And also
let's
AI
do a
is-
full circle here. Going back to the films that have succeeded. None of them are like this year.
A lot of them, well, I don't know. It's hard to quantify what this year has been because Barbie is the most successful. Barbie
Yeah.
is a big named brand, but everyone didn't think it was going to be good. It's like the Lego movie. It's a product that people know that everyone thought was going to be shit, but they put creative people behind it who actually cared, so it was good.
Yeah,
Then you have
Mario.
Spider-Verse. I guess Mario. Mario is branded, but is mediocre. It is generic.
but
It's
it
the
did really well.
It did, yeah. But it's a brand that's aimed at kids. It's aimed at adults, and it's generic so that it reaches the widest audience.
It's probably also Illumination helped, because the Illumination name has a lot of weight to it.
Yeah, because of Minions and whatnot. Even though I don't like that studio, because all of their films are pretty generic and to appeal to the most broad audience. It's the most safe studio in terms of like animation, because all of their stuff it looks the same. Their new one, they're doing a new one which is birds.
Are they?
They're just it's migration. It's just birds migrating north or something. It looks bad. But yeah, so Mario did well. Then you have Oppenheimer, which is based on the director.
Once again, Christopher Nolan holds a lot of weight, and it's a good.
Yeah,
People are going to go see the film, and they're going to expect to see a good film.
Yeah, they go on the back of Christopher Nolan through his filmography.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like Barbie also because Greta Gerwig.
So I think the success of a lot of these films comes from expectation.
Guardians of the Galaxy did well, but not to expectation. But I feel like it was damaged by Marvel's previous stuff.
Yeah, that's my point. I
'Cause-
think people now, they're going to go see Marvel, any Marvel properties, and they think it's not going to be good. Everything after Endgame or Far From Home, whatever.
Spider-Man. I'd reckon it's
Anything from Phase 4 to say Phase 5, the majority of it is shit. Realistically, it's not good. It's okay, it's fine, it's average. But if you've seen, the views decline gradually. The only reason why Guardians did this well was because of James Gunn. So Marvel, at this point, I am not convinced.
and I
by
think
any
the
of them
Guardian's name
and the Guardians' name.
because I
I
think
don't think-
everything after Phase 4 was Black Widow was dead, so who cares? It's a
Yeah.
prequel. Shang-Chi was new, did well because it was good. Black Panther did well, but not as well as it could have because of Chadwick Boseman's death and everything like that. And then everything else has kind of been new, and it's been mixed to bad. And then Ant-Man was like, what are they doing?
Yeah. So Guardians makes sense. Fast X also sort of makes sense. Penultimate one of Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah, well, who knows at this point, because they've now got a Rock spin-off continuing the Hobbs and Shaw universe that wasn't meant to happen because they managed to get the Rock back because Black Adam failed, so the Rock crawled back to another franchise to be a part of. That is what it looks like, because the Rock was like, I'm never going to be in these films again. I hate Vin Diesel and I don't want to be a part of this. I've got my new franchise, Black Adam. This is the start of the DC universe. I have taken control. I own this. I am going to be the star.
Yeah.
Black Adam does fuck all and ruins the DCU more. And then he's like, shit, I need money. Let's crawl back to the Fast and Furious franchise where they want me and it looks like I've been good. Yeah,
But
what
yeah,
else is
I think for this, they definitely should have gone more into the deep story. A lot of these, okay, Barbie has got a somewhat deep story to it. A lot of
Dungeons and
underlying
Dragons
things.
was good, but didn't do well.
That is true. But once again, I think if you people see Dungeons and Dragons, what they think? They think nerds.
True. That's why you get Chris Pratt, who's sexy.
It wasn't Chris Pratt.
Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Too many Chris's in Hollywood. Get rid of
There
them.
was. I really enjoyed that film. I thought that film was brilliant.
Oh, yeah, that film was great.
Might even be my favorite film this year, to be fair. I mean, our pure enjoyment.
Spider-Verse still.
Still not quite seen that yet, so.
Yeah. I would also. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a weird year.
But it just
'Cause,
looks like sci-fi films just don't do well anymore.
I think people are tired.
I think that's it. It's just there's been too many. It's done. I really enjoyed not watching sci-fi films.
Oh, I did really enjoy Mission Impossible though. I'd still say Spider-Verse. I don't know. When we get to the end of the year, I'll have to look.
Well, hopefully I will have seen Spider-Verse and Mission Impossible by then.
Very
But going
good
into the future, I just don't think next year that well, if there be any films.
Oh no! Riders are back, so we're just gonna get all the films that were meant to come out this year, like COVID.
Yeah, again.
We're just having another COVID but Hollywood actors and writers strikes. What are 2024 movies? What are the big ones? Let's have a look-see. Okay, so we got Joker sequel, Venom sequel,
I reckon Joker would do
Deadpool
alright.
sequel, Gladiator sequel, Lord of the Rings, War of Rohan. What? More Lord of the Rings movies? Oh my God, Craven Dan. Sony's next attempt at making another villain movie. Dune 2 looks fucking great. Really want to see that. That's sci-fi that did well. Dead Reckoning Part 2 probably won't come out because of the delays. Spider-Verse Part 2 won't come out because of delays. Kung Fu Panda 4? I didn't know they were making another Kung Fu Panda.
Deadpool 3,
Yeah, Deadpool 3 I mentioned, I think. We got another Knives Out movie
Mission Impossible,
going straight to Netflix. Yeah.
possibly Venom 3. That's meant to come out
Yeah,
still.
I've mentioned these, yep. Oh, Argyle, which is the Matthew Vaughn spy movie that isn't a spy movie but is a spy movie, maybe. I don't know if you
There's
saw the
another
trailer.
Transformers film next year.
Maybe. Oh, Godzilla vs. Kong, The New Empire. I love my big monkey versus big lizard.
Yeah, apparently Transformers 1 is coming out next year, and its voice, Optimus Prime, is voiced by Chris Hemsworth.
Is it animated? I'm assuming it's animated.
It must be, right? But it says in theaters, but...
Well, yeah, they can do animated. And animation doesn't mean
Yeah.
that it
No,
can't
yeah,
go.
it is animation, yeah, it's animation.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Lion King, Mufasa, the prequel to the Lion King live action that no one
Fuck's
wants.
sake.
Inside Out 2, apparently. Madam Web. Oh, yeah, they're doing a Madam Web movie. Oh, we got another Quiet Place movie? Weird. Oh, Ballerina, the John Wick side cool thing. And Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
But yeah,
mean-
I think it's dark days for the cinema.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure there'll be some good stuff. I think now that the Hollywood writers are now getting paid decent wages and not being forced to basically not write stuff well and like compete against each other as much.
Yeah.
We might be getting some better scripts.
See, competition does help, but it also starves.
No, it's more that Hollywood just basically forces them to a point where I think there was the writers' room thing, which was basically they just brought in writers to basically pitch ideas, and then those writers never got to actually write the script
Right.
for the movie, and they only got paid for like one day.
Oh, wow.
Because they basically go in for one day, throw a bunch of ideas out to get like a base idea, and then they get another group of writers to like finalize it and write based on those ideas. But the people who came up with those ideas got paid for like one day. Because they come in for
not
one
good.
day, just throw a bunch of ideas, get a whole bunch of people, pay them for like one day, and then you get one guy to finalize the whole entire plot. Oh, they're doing a new Kingdom. Oh, yeah, the Planet of the Apes movie, the fourth one. Damn, I hope that's good. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, they get, and then it was basically a lot of it's like, oh yeah, we're making TV shows now shorter, so we're not paying them for as many episodes that they would normally get. So there was a whole bunch of stuff that the Hollywood writers and stuff are trying to get and got. They did actually pretty well out of it. I think they got all of their points except maybe a few bits. Like, I don't think Hollywood is. I think Hollywood is allowed to use AI, but you're not allowed to force writers to use AI. You don't. If a writer wants to use AI, the AI still gets no credit or anything like that. But you're not forced to use it. If any scripts come through that are AI generated, they have to be told, and they have the right to refuse them.
Yeah.
A bunch of other stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah,
the Hollywood
I think,
stuff.
I think we're done now with the creator, right?
Yeah, I mean, we spent most of it not talking about the creator.
Yeah, but that's kind of the
like
film,
again,
right?
like again, not shitting on the film. I think if you like sci-fi, this will be a pretty okay movie to go watch in your spare time if you want to go watch a movie, or
Yeah,
wait till it
that's
comes
pretty-
out on
that's
Disney
pretty-
Plus and watch it then. But I was hoping for a bit more, but I still think it looked cool. I did like that big ship that. I think Gareth
That was
Edwards does, but Gareth Edwards does scale really well
Yeah, yeah.
because he did the first Godzilla movie, the 2014 one, and he did Rogue One, and the visual scale of those movies is really impressive. All the other Godzilla movies, it just feels like two action figures smashing together, which I like. Don't get me wrong, I like big action smashy.
Big monkey
Thing.
with a big lizard.
But the first Godzilla movie, you can see the scale of Godzilla. Like the way they shoot it, the way everything, the height of the buildings are minuscule compared to him. And then with the Death Star in Star Wars, like seeing a Star Destroyer, which are massive in Star Wars, glide alongside the Death Star and be tiny in comparison, and then to have another ship and all of these other things, he does scale really well. And the scale of that ship in the sky, and you're like, fucking hell, how close is that? And then you find out it's in space, and it's just it was fine.
Wrap it up, Danny.
No, let's go for another 9 minutes. Anyway, yep. Oh yeah, do you want to have the fun fact of he was gonna use AI generated music to replicate Hans Zimmer, but then decided against it. Let's just chuck that
Good
in
call.
at the end.
Good call.
Anyway, Dan's bored. Goodbye.
Dan's gonna get some food.
Oh yeah, Dan lost his lasagna.
I lost my lasagna. It's a sad day. It's a sad day.
Tell people about your lost lasagna.
No, I want to go get some food. The lost lasagna is another day.
The lost lasagna is another episode.
The whole episode is based on how I lost my lasagna.
Okay, goodbye everyone. Peace out.
Bye.